The King's Avatar, Chapter 1136, audio source, wuxia-world-audiobook.com. Chapter 1136, Significant Transfer. Translator, Nomyami. Editor, Nomyami. Everyone suddenly seemed to gain an appetite, so they ordered a few more dishes and ate with a lively atmosphere. Fang Rui left the next day, and all that was left were the contract negotiations with Club Windhowl. When the player had a preference as to where they were going, it generally wasn't difficult to reach a deal. Windhowl was truly shocked at Fang Rui's final choice, but in the end they respected his wishes. However, they were disappointed when Happy said that they weren't going to buy Doubtful Demon as well. They had originally planned to sell off Fang Rui and Doubtful Demon together, permanently making the rookies Tang Hao and Zhao Yuzhe the core of their style, and abandoning the dirty playstyle once and for all. Who would have thought that Fang Rui would leave without his character? He actually wanted to change classes to Chi Master. Are you sure? Quote, there were still feelings between Windhowl and Fang Rui after so many years. For someone who'd already become an all-star player, it seemed like there was no reason for him to change classes. It was illogical. Seeing that Fang Rui wanted to do this, Windhowl had to say something, whether it was for Fang Rui's own interests, or their plan to sell the player and character together. I'm sure. Since returning from Happy, Fang Rui was completely certain of his decision. What kind of poison did Happy brainwash this guy with to convince him to accept these conditions? Windhowl, after having their plan messed up, was at a loss as to what to do. But for the sake of the team's image, they had to respect the wishes of the player, especially for an important player like Fang Rui. Windhowl then planned to negotiate with Happy, but Happy completely rejected their attempts to sell Doubtful Demon, so in the end, Windhowl could only start putting up a price. In terms of price, this sort of voluntary transfer sale would never go too high. Additionally, Fang Rui was mediating, so Windhowl didn't expect to make much money from this. After they talked back and forth, they soon decided on a transfer fee of 4 million. After news of the transfer was released, the entire alliance wondered if they had read incorrectly. Fang Rui chose Happy. This was as shocking as when Xiao Shichen chose to transfer to the relegated Excellent era last season. Were all the All-Stars taking unconventional routes now? But no matter what, the transfer satisfied the rules, so Fang Rui's transfer was quickly approved. Now, Fang Rui was officially a member of Happy. Because there weren't too many issues to be worked out, the transfer was swiftly completed. The media was still in the middle of figuring out which teams were more interested in Fang Rui when the contract was already signed. When the media caught wind of this, Happy was already holding a news conference. Happy didn't yet have a specialized PR department, so the conference was arranged by a PR company they had found to help. After the news released, the various esports media all came without even being invited. It was a full house, and there were endless requests for private interviews. Chen Guo, Yishu, and Fang Rui were the three participants in the press conference, and it was completed as planned. Meanwhile, the rights to an exclusive interview were of course given to the reporter Chang Jian of City H's esports home. Chang Jian was ecstatic. When he had first noticed Happy, he hadn't been thinking about gambling on the growth as a team. He was just a newbie in the industry. How would he have such foresight? He was just doing the ordinary thing, reporting on this grassroots team that had gained some attention. Who would have thought that with this gamble, he had won big? After Happy won the Challenger League Championship, Chang Jian felt how fortunate he was. He could sense his status at esports home rising, and the editor-in-chief spoke with him in person much more often. And now, Fang Rui was transferring to Happy. In the summer transfer window, he had obtained the first major exclusive interview since Excellent Era disbanded. Undoubtedly, this interview would be on the front page of next week's edition of Esports Home. Facing Fang Rui, Chang Jian was slightly apprehensive. He had been with Happy's members for a while now and was familiar with all of them, but that was partly because of their humble beginnings as a team. Chang Jian had never felt too much of a professional atmosphere from them. But Fang Rui was different. Facing an interview, he had the aura of a god. Chang Jian was reminded of when he was just starting out in the industry, and the pressure he felt when he was tagging along with senior reporters to carry their bags. And now, he was facing this aura by himself. God Fang Rui, may we begin? Fang Rui steadied his emotions. He knew, after today, he would be facing countless interviews like this. Fang Rui was transferring. This was the first big news. Fang Rui was switching classes. This was the second big news. At the press conference, when they learned that Fang Rui would be playing with Boundless Sea, the entire pro circle went wild. What was the reason? During the press conference, Fang Rui grinned and said, "Because Happy's broke. They can't afford Doubtful Demon, so I could only switch to using Boundless Sea." Who would believe that? The number one thief, an all-star player, was treated like this after being bought. Even if Happy was willing to waste talent like that, how could Fang Rui agree to such treatment? Compared to Fang Rui's transfer, his change to Chi Master suddenly became a much more exciting topic of discussion. WuxaWorldAudio.com. This is truly an unprecedented decision. If I recall correctly, before you, there's never been a top player who chose to change classes like this. One reporter said. What do you mean? Yishu suddenly interjected, dissatisfied. Didn't I do that too? Silence. This, how to put it? Even if an unspecialized wasn't a real class, it certainly wasn't the Battle Mage class that Yishu had always played. This was indeed a class-changing player, and he was sitting right in front of all of them. How had they missed it? The reporter who had spoken was filled with shame, while the others asked themselves, why hadn't they realized that Yishu was also a class-changing player? And the more attentive reporters now realized another point. I remember Happy's Qiao Yivan, when he was in Tiny Herb, he was using an assassin, but now he's changed classes to a Ghost Blade. You're correct. Yishu nodded. The reporters glanced at each other. Team Happy actually had 3 class-changing players. Was this Happy's style, some hidden attribute? The purpose of the press conference was primarily to deliver news, so the reporters didn't have much time to ask questions. There was simply no opportunity for them to get to the bottom of this situation. And the one who had obtained the opportunity to do so was Chang Jian, with the exclusive interview. He was now rather smug as he asked about the details. Why did you decide to change classes to Chi Master? Because of Happy's invitation. What kind of invitation was it that could cause you to make such an important decision? An extremely sincere invitation. How sincere? Very, very sincere. Look at my eyes, Fang Rui said. Chang Jian felt like crying. It was no use, he was still too young, too inexperienced. He had no control over this master of playing dirty. End chapter.